This is just a little demonstration. Sometimes it's hardest to make the functional message to people who are your peer group. And so the way I came at the National Athletic Trainers meeting for the NFL is I was invited to speak at the NFL Combine. So while they're collecting data on the players, the trainers get together and have a meeting, and I was the keynote. And this was probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. But should we look at patterns or parts? To me, it's never been either or, but if we've got to pick one, let's look at patterns. And if they're pretty good, you don't need to worry about the parts nearly as much. Whereas even if all the parts are good, it doesn't guarantee a good pattern. But I really wanted to leave them with a visual that maybe made them question, should they be using a little bit more of the functional stuff we're talking about? So the first thing I said is, we're not here to prevent injuries because 100% of NFL players get injured. So we know this is a high threat environment, but it doesn't mean we can't control the vulnerability of each player. So injury is inevitable, or injury has already occurred. That's the situation we're in. And this is the stats that we were able to get, and you can advance it from the year before I do this presentation. So if we look at bumps, bruises, and breaks, we've got basically 1,300 injuries on field in the season. And we look at the high percentage stuff like knee, upper thigh, ankle, and shoulder. Think about what I just said now. We got the knee joint, the ankle joint, the shoulder joint, and then thigh and quad. That's hamstring, okay? So really, really inefficient movement patterns that fatigue early somehow result in hamstring cramps for really fast people. But we've also got vulnerable joints, and the ones most cut on and the most injured are these. And so at the NFL Combine, should we set up stations and do more thorough ankle, knee evaluations? Maybe more vigorous hamstring testing and even more shoulder evaluations? Or should we just do one movement pattern that squeezes the knee, the hamstring, okay, the ankle, and the shoulders? Because a standardized lunge pattern confronts the basic mobility and motor control that complicates 777 out of 130, 1,345 of these injuries. 58% of what they're already complaining of or gonna have gets squeezed right there. And if they pass this, they're probably not part of the group that's gonna have a big issue because the risk factors are low and the readiness is up, meaning they're not already hurting. And if they move like this, unless it's a big time collision injury, they've got about all the immunity I could give them from here. So I just need them to think about that, because all I'm really adding is one test in place of four. Do the lunge and look how many times this reciprocal split pattern occurs. And it's just not happening. It's happening at speed with violence, necessary balance. And the lunge is literally the signature of deceleration and direction change. Most athletic injuries occur on deceleration. So let's squeeze a pattern that speaks that, because the one thing we did find out is nowhere else in the movement screen have we ever found it to give you a statistical competitive advantage to be perfect. We basically say in every movement pattern there is be good enough, okay? So we've got exceptional, that's a 3. Acceptable, that's a 2. Unacceptable is a 1, and a 0 equals pain. And that's an exceptional lunge. And that's a competitive advantage in the NFL. Players that are pulling that off without even knowing they're supposed to, or without even pre-training for that, seem to be immune to all the things that are taking people out. And remember, there's a large percentage of this, almost an equal number of non-contact to contact injuries. So a non-contact injury is you and gravity disagree. Gravity always wins, so don't disagree with gravity. The lower you can get your center of mass, the more you can transfer your energy. So baseball pitchers stride further to turn linear power into rotational power. The longer that linear power is, the more balanced and smooth it is, the more the top can spin on a flat table.